eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley joining us to discuss now the latest news from the state capitol. Great to have you as always. Another busy week at the Capitol, including the House approving another teacher pay raise. How much? How soon?
That's correct. This would take effect in the new school year when it begins in August. And this pay raise is $1,200 per teacher. A year ago, of course, lawmakers were fighting over getting funding for teacher pay raises and then approving a rather large teacher pay raise. This sailed through the House on a vote of 94-0 without much debate or much discussion. In part, that's because the Board of Equalization determined this week that lawmakers will have about $574 million additional dollars to spend for the upcoming fiscal year than they had for this fiscal year. The teacher pay raise cost about $70 million, so they have room to work. It's a much different situation than it was a year ago.
Yeah, and a good situation for the teachers.
Exactly.
I know they're happy. Something called the anti-abortion trigger bill, and this head of the Senate is certainly supportive of this. So explain what it is exactly.
Yes, on Thursday, Senate President Pro Tem Greg Treat announced that he would be taking over a piece of legislation and filing new language for this anti-abortion trigger bill. What this bill would do would be to repeal all of the abortion regulations in the state of Oklahoma, taking Oklahoma back to pre-1973, pre-Roe versus Wade times, when abortion was illegal in Oklahoma. That law, in fact, is still on the books, but it is unenforceable because of Supreme Court decisions like Roe versus Wade and Planned Parenthood versus Casey. If that were to be overturned, or a constitutional amendment approved which would prohibit abortion, then this bill would be implemented and roll back all those regulations so abortion would again be illegal in the state of Oklahoma.
You know, there's always controversial bills. Certainly this would be one of the most controversial of this session, I would think.
It certainly will be, and it comes at a time as we're moving into the final week of committee consideration of legislation. So it's probably going to get a lot of talk during Monday's Senate Health and Human Services Committee.
Okay, I want to talk about the tax breaks for the movie makers. They're trying to back those up and bringing them back up. But not long ago, those were actually cut back, were they not?
That's right. Several years ago, as part of an effort to save the state money, the film enhancement tax credit was reduced substantially. Now lawmakers are looking at increasing that from $4 million up to $8 million, and also tying in another component to this, the Governor's Quick Action Closing Fund. The idea being to make money available to attract even larger productions to the state of Oklahoma and grow the industry that much more.
Yeah, let's bring the stars to town, right?
There you go.
That sounds like a good plan. eCapitol News Director Sean Ashley joining us. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.